Good morning, students. Good morning, students. My name is Anush. Today, we will discuss the poem Where the Mind is Without Fear by Rabindranath Tagore. So, before discussing the poem, it's better to know about the poet and the poem. So, first, we will read about the poet. Now, see, Rabindranath Tagore, popularly known as Gurudev, was a Bengali polymath. He was a poet, dramatist, short story writer, novelist, and philosopher who earned for modern India a place on the world literary scene. He wrote primarily in Bengali but translated many of his works into English and in the process wrote them afresh. Gitanjali and the Gardener are the important volumes of poetry that he rendered in English. The songs of Gitanjali, Tagore's best known work, internationally are mostly devotional poems in the Indian tradition. Tagore became the first non European to win the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913. His I think now it's more visible. His mesmeric personality and appearance, flowing beard, and the otherworldly attire earned him a prophet like reputation in the West. He was a cultural reformer who modernized Bengali art by rejecting rigidity of form and style. Tagore was highly influential in introducing the best of Indian culture to the West and vice versa. He is generally considered the outstanding creative genius of modern India. Gitanjali, Gora, and Ghere are his best known works. His verse, short stories, and novels were acclaimed for their naturalism, lyricism, and colloquialism. His compositions were chosen by two nations as national anthems: India's Jan Gan Man and Bangladesh's Amar Shanar Bangla. Tagore was a man far ahead of his times. His views on culture, gender, poverty, education, and freedom remain relevant even today. Now it was about the poet. Now let us discuss about the poem. About the poem, now see, where the mind is without fear is taken from Gitanjali. It appears as the 35th poem in the collection. It is one of Tagore's most anthologized poems. The English version of Gitanjali, containing 103 poems, was brought out in a limited edition by the Indian Society in London. The Bengali version of the collection contains 157 poems. The poem expresses the poet's reflective spirit and is a simple prayer for his country. But the prayer has a universal message. Tagore dreams of a truly global society where there are no boundaries of caste and creed. The poet portrays not just for territorial independence for his country, but also for its spiritual and intellectual freedom. He wants his country to rise above petty concerns and narrow prejudices and soar high above into the world of freedom of thought and action based on truth and fearlessness. The poem was written during the time when India was under British rule and the people of India and the people of India were fighting for freedom. This poem gave a lot of strength to all those who were struggling for India's independence. The poet's prayer for a nation free from oppression and corruption has made this poem immortal. Now, it was about the poem. Now, have a glance on the glossary. Now, see fragments. Fragments means small pieces. Another word, domestic, of or relating to the home. Then strive, make great efforts to achieve or obtain something. Stretch, reach for. Dreary, lacking charm, causing dejection. Okay, now let us discuss the poem where the mind is without fear. Now, let us discuss the text of the poem. Now, see, the poem begins with the line, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. So let us explain the very first line of the poem, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. In this line, the poet prays to God to make his country a place where people can live fearlessly. He expects his countrymen to be bold and brave. Further, the poet prays to God to make his country a place where people can hold their heads high with honor and respect. They should not do anything that is mean or low. They should not do anything that hurts their respect and pride of their nation. Okay? Then another line, where knowledge is free. In this line, the poet prays to God to make his nation a place where knowledge is free. In other words, each and every citizen of India should be free to attain knowledge. Next line, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. In this line, Tagore pleads God to make the world a place where there is no division between men and men, on the basis of caste, color, creed, religion, reason, etc. In other words, he expects his countrymen to live with love and harmony. They should not quarrel with each other on the basis of caste, color, creed, religion, reason, so on and so forth. Okay? Now, the next line, where words come out from the depth of truth. Here, the writer also expects his countrymen to be truthful. They should be true to their words. They should have purity of heart. His country should be a place where there is no malice, where there is no falsehood. It should be free from any kind of falsehood. His country should be an evil-free place. Okay? Now, the next line, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. See, very important. In these words, the poet expects his countrymen to do work tirelessly. They should work hard to achieve perfection in their tasks. The next line, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit. Very beautiful. The dreary desert sand of dead habit. Now see, here the poet exhorts that the people of India should behave logically and rationally. They should not be strayed by the dreary desert sand of dead habit. The dreary desert sand of dead habit means the dogmas and useless customs. In other words, the countrymen should not be misguided by false beliefs, as these false beliefs can put hindrance on their progress, in their progress. Okay? Where the mind is, next line, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action. Here, thee stands for God. Now, see here, with the help of these words, the poet wants that the people of his land should have holistic vision. They should be broad-minded people. They should not remain narrow in their thoughts, ideas, perceptions, vision, and actions. Okay? Now let us see the last line of the poem. Very beautiful line. Okay? Into that heaven of freedom, my father, let my country awake. In this last line, the poet earnestly prays to God to turn his country into a heaven of freedom. He prays to God to enlighten and guide his countrymen. He beseeches God to help his people to walk on the path of goodness. Also, he expects his country people to follow that path that makes this land a heaven of freedom. Okay, students? Thank you.